Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show. I'll be breaking down the big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. Now, if you want to go above and beyond, support the channel and get all types of daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, definitely head over to Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description for you guys. And now, let's get right into the market. All right, so welcome back once again, guys. And the tankers, the traffic in Strait of Hormuz is still, just not moving. Nothing is moving out of there. So, the crisis of oil is still there. The war is just stalled out, and we got the ceasefire, but nothing really happening, nothing really moving. What's moving is the market, especially S&P, Nasdaq, and even Russell moving to almost a brand new all-time high, but S&P and Nasdaq hitting all-time highs, leaving Dow behind. Netflix posting earnings right now, and the stock is down even after a beat, and I could be priced in because the stock was up already quite a bit. Now, just few days ago, we were talking about how extreme fear, the noise is loud, and people are bearish, right? And you guys saw that. I even called it in my Discord that market will be coming back up to all-time highs. Well, I'm not gonna say I was expecting all-time highs in 2 weeks, right? No, I wasn't expecting that. But this is a vicious rally that actually brought us back to all-time highs again. And just like that, snap of a finger, we're back to grade 62. And who's doing that? Well, mostly memory chips, semiconductors. These are the ones to blame for this massive rally. They're going up and only going up every day. You mentioned AI on a shoe company, it'll go up 900%. Just like back in the days where you mention, EV into any sort of stock, and it goes up as soon as it comes into the market. And now AI is the next big thing, and we're just pumping on AI news. You put out even on a shoe company, it's going to go up. Advancing 49.3, declining 46. Dow was up 0.24%. Nasdaq another all-time high 0.36%. S&P up 0.26%. Russell up 0.21%. 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500 led the way on top: energy, real estate, technology, utilities. But a lot of the sectors are actually in the red. They were in the red yesterday. Energy led the way, and a lot of the things are up. Even dollar is up, and the market kept going. Now, yesterday I actually made the video, but unfortunately, I had to do an update in my computer, and I did not check before making the video, and there was no sound. So after wasting 3 4 hours, guess what? I'm not gonna make another video. The video did not come out because there was no sound, and I'm not gonna go and redo it again. And a lot of these names, Microsoft, I don't blame Microsoft. It can go up. It's still undervalued, and this thing took a big punishment, and it's still going up. And you can see, Microsoft, I was calling it in my channel many days that this is the one that actually to buy. And now, that position, I sold even more calls today. Those are up over 170%. Nvidia flat, but it was up yesterday. Broadcom, up slightly. It was up yesterday big and almost sitting at all-time highs. AMD hit a new all-time high. You would think like this is an earnings move, but no, AMD on a monster move to the upside. Why? Nothing really big going on. No earnings, nothing. TXN, Intel. Usually, Intel stock moves in between $1 to $3. Some cases maybe four, but it's moving 3 4 5 bucks, 5 6% easily every day. Thing is extremely overbought and still going. So these are the ones. Meta, another one. Google, Tesla was there yesterday. I think it was up like 27 30 bucks. Amazon also pushing for all-time highs. So that magnificent 7 8 stocks, and some of these semiconductor stocks, these are the ones that are actually taking the market to all-time highs. It's not your regular stock where you can say, okay, Costco or Boeing or Walmart, taking market to all-time highs. No, the same names, and some of these names right here, computer hardware, you can see STX, SNDK, this penny stock, Dell, another one hitting all-time highs, WDC, and some of these names just going ballistic, and that's why you're seeing all-time highs in this market. Now, talking about all-time highs, let's talk about the ones that are actually hitting all-time highs, which is AMD. So let's get started with AMD. All right, so AMD up almost 8%, and look at this, almost $280 per share. Now, AMD had this weakness here. You can see right here, we went back up. Same move here. We just consolidated. It was looking like we were just gonna come down here and fill the gap, but boom, this thing reversed. And now, before earnings, whenever you see big run-ups before earnings. At least from my point of view, I would say this is kind of a red flag that you're not going to see much of an upside, depending on if they beat earnings or not. And you don't have to take my word for it. Look at Netflix. Look at TSM today. It was pretty much priced in. It had the run up for multiple weeks, and this is happening here on AMD as well. And who knows, we might be trading at all time highs before the earnings come out. So the big test would be holding over 266, 267. We did gap up today, so if this thing comes in, it's getting really frothy, overextended. And if we come in here and we stay under that, this would be just a look above and fill. So, but if this thing continues, watch out for that 279.34 to break, and we could be heading into 300s. I mean, AMD can move. I mean, you can see this thing moved up $20. Even a big stock like Microsoft not really moving that much, but $20 up on the day. So tomorrow, this is going to be key zone to watch into Friday's session. Underneath that, we will be coming down and filling the gap to 58, and I don't see it's going down much lower tomorrow. Especially if we get some sort of a pullback upside, it can definitely continue because we are trading into blue skies. We had some decent volume today, so watch out. There might be some continuation, but if you're somebody who likes to chase and you're good at chasing, this is might be something that you want to look into. But again, a lot of the people that actually chase usually get burned. So I would say, if you're a smart trader, you would wait for some sort of a retracement pullback before getting into AMD. And this is one of those stocks that is actually doing the same thing like the market itself and just kept going up to brand new all-time high. On Nvidia stock, it's flat on the day. Again, we got close to 200. We did not take out yesterday's high and just consolidating today. We got doji type of candle, wick on the bottom, wick on the top. So we'll see if we can fill the gap before earnings right here at 205. But as of right now, I mean, gap up and go, another gap up and go, and this was the gap up and go from Tuesday. And it's still going, Nvidia. So if we come back in, or this is actually, yeah, this is Tuesday. If we come back in, there will be support around 195.62. If we break under the 5-day moving average, pretty much sitting at 194. And underneath that, we would be filling this gap right here at 190 to 189.66. To the upside, 200 breaks, 203, and then the gap at 205.56. On Microsoft, it's up 2.20%. So yesterday was up, again today up. I mean, look at how we're trading way outside the Bollinger Band. Now, here in this case, I'm not really against it because not only I'm in here in this stock and I've been buying and still holding a lot of the stuff on Microsoft, a lot of long term and even like 2 months out, 3 months out calls. These are up over 150 to almost 200%. And I took profit on it today, and you can see the continuation happening here. So, earnings coming up end of the month, we could see some sort of a retracement. We had a gap up and go today. We did come in to fill the gap. And if you actually got in at the support, you can see right here that 412 to 410, that was a good entry, and it would actually it would just go back up, and it would be up at least $8 on your position. So but this thing gave us a lot of time. I've been talking about it in my channel that it's been forming this bull flag pattern. We had this move, but then faded, came back in, and then it just took off. And now last few days you can see more and more volume. So Microsoft, if you're chasing here, I would not recommend this, but wait, see, if we pull back in for a day or two, maybe fill some of these gaps, we get to like 400, something like that, 394. That's going to be the next opportunity for this thing to ride it even higher, and we can easily get to 500, guys. So it's still cheap. I mean, there is still more upside. And not that I'm saying that 500 is the top, but it can go even higher. So Microsoft, if we pull back in, this is going to be the support 412 to 410. Underneath that 405. If we continue, you can see that 422 breaks. We could be going even higher on Microsoft to possibly try to fill some of this massive gap from before. On Meta, it's up 0.79%. So Meta is up once again. And you can see we got up to almost that high 682 yesterday and today. And this thing is not letting it go. I mean, we came back in yesterday 664. Today we did not. And just kept going. It was 520, guys. And it was falling apart. And when you look at this weekly chart, what happened? Look below, trapping a lot of bears. And now, boom, we're back into the bull side. So if this thing continues over 682, there will be a lot more upside. But chasing this is definitely not something you want to do because this is a big moving stock. If it comes in 664 support underneath that 5-day moving average, 654.66, and watch out for the trend line retest at some point. Maybe even fill the gap at 635. That would be a nice area to maybe try to get into Meta if that holds up. On Google stock, it's down 0.5%, but you can see, I mean, V shape on Google. When you look at each stocks, especially the Magnificent Eight stocks, just V shape all over. Same thing as SPY and Qs. And now we're sitting close to all-time highs. I mean, it just a few bucks away. So watch out. We could be retesting 342. If we pull back in 328, we retested yesterday, support held, and now you'll have confluence from this rising 5-day moving average, which is moving up rapidly. So this is going to be a key zone on a pullback. If that breaks, then we could be filling this gap from Tuesday 319, and then we have support at 314, upside 342, and then trading into blue skies, hitting all-time highs again. On Amazon stock, it's up 0.5% and still going and rejecting at 250. If we break that, we could be hitting all-time highs or retesting that 258 again. Now, when Amazon was selling off, especially on last earnings, bought shares and still holding, just got rid of those shares yesterday, which was up over $50 per share. Now, when people see these, gains or they hear about these gains, they want to come and join. But again, guys, if you're not serious, like one guy joined and he was getting bored, like why I'm not, I guess entertaining the guy talking about, what do you do for a living, this and that. Don't have time for that. You're here to get trade ideas. You get trade ideas, you get ideas that's going to make you money, that's going to save you money for bad trades. That's all I do. I'm not here to give you, um, or get you to talk about your family or my family. That's not why I'm there. And I don't think anybody have time to do that. If you go to somebody's channel, you're there because you like them, you like the way they trade, and that's why you're there. You need trade ideas. You're not there to chit chat and just talk about a whole bunch of BS. That's not why you're there. As long as you get your trade ideas, you make money, and you're getting the right thing, that's all matters. So, and some of these trade ideas, you can see how long I held from last earnings to this earnings. So that's like what, over 2 months. And I don't mind holding. That's why the gains are massive. CRM, I bought on that dip, last week, and still holding that position, the shares and calls. Snow, I bought. Microsoft, I bought. And these things, how much are these things up? Massively. Look at Microsoft where it's trading. Now, if you cannot hold up and if you just come and join and the next day you want to be a millionaire, oh man, I don't have crystal balls. I can't do that. You got to find somebody with crystal ball and maybe they can do that. So, a lot of people, not only, in my group, a lot of other people that join other people, they're not serious. They just run from one, channel to another, one channel to another, and then they disappear, lose all their money because they don't even know what they're doing. So unless you're serious, there are some serious people that I actually appreciate and admire because these people are serious. They know the language of money making, and that's all that actually matters. If you're just chit chatting, that's why you're there. in somebody's Discord, or anything, a channel, you're not serious. This is not some sort of a community where you go and chat. You need serious trade ideas. You need serious ideas to make serious money, and that's all I think that actually matters. And Amazon here, I mean, earnings are coming up, so it could be priced in, but we gap up again, 240 gap, so we might be able to fill the gap before earnings. If we come back in, there will be support at the 5 day right here, 245, 242. It held the support today, and then the 240 gap. Underneath that, support at 236, and then this gap, 233, which was, I think, from last Wednesday, I believe. Amazon breaks and gets over 250. We're going back up to all-time highs. On Tesla stock is down 0.78%. So I think what's happening here, we're just digesting that move from yesterday, which was massive. We broke out of this downtrend and into the 50-day. We closed over the 50-day and now below. So 390 breaks, we could be going into 400s and possibly even higher. If we get a pullback, I mean, yes, Tesla also a big company, big mover, but if you ask me, the sales, they were down in last earnings, and I think it's going to be the same thing because we already got a hint. But I don't think the sales are driven, the stock. This thing has its own mind, and mostly when Elon is buying, Elon is selling, that's when you see a lot of action happening. So earnings are here. I would not recommend to do anything here with Tesla. Let's just see if this thing can actually get over the 50-day right here around that 389, 390. Then we could be going into 400s. If we pull back, this is a key zone, 383 held as a support. If we come back in a little bit more, there will be support at 375 on Tesla. On Apple stock, it's down 1.14%. So Apple, I actually played calls on Apple today, right here at 262, getting 265 calls, and then selling at 264 and some change, and then this thing came back, and these were expiring tomorrow. So a little bit of gain here on Apple, but you can see, I mean, Apple was down today after this big move yesterday, and now it's below 265. So if we can get over 265, there will be more upside. If we cannot get over 265, the support held up here at 261 today. These moving averages underneath that, there will be support at 259 and then 255. All right, so Netflix down about 9% here after, you can see right here, right on my screen, trading about $100 to $99 per share. So it depends on where things open tomorrow. I'm not gonna go too much into details, and I think this was pretty much possibly priced in because we had this massive run, bull flag, and then another run, almost getting up to that target. Right here, you can see today we got up to almost 109. The calls, all of the calls sold, shares still holding, might be even adding some more shares, more exposure here into Netflix, depending on where things go tomorrow. So let's see if we can hold up on right here 99.57. If not, down here at 97.3 into that 94. That would be a good area to possibly go long if this thing pulls back here. As of right now, don't know where things gonna open, so we'll do a deeper discussion tomorrow on Netflix. Now, let's talk about Broadcom here because this thing is just going ballistic. And you can see today it was up 0.5%. We did not give back any gains. We did not even fill the gap right here, 382, and we're still trading well outside 387. So if that actually holds up tomorrow and we can get especially over, I would say, this high right here, about 400 to 401, we could be going up and hitting or retesting previous all-time highs on Broadcom. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys.